All right, guys, Father's Day is around the corner. Do you have a gift for your dad yet? Or if you are a dad, have you bought yourself a new fragrance? So today's video is a video on discounted fragrances, highly discounted fragrances and testers. And I'm doing it with the theme of Father's Day. So mostly masculine fragrances. Some of these are unisex though, but they do lean masculine. But I think they're perfect for a Father's Day gift, or if you're a dad and you're looking for a new fragrance, you're going to want to probably check these fragrances out because they are really great deals. So I'm going to talk to you about several fragrances here. I've got a whole page full of fragrances. I have one that I recently ordered that just arrived as well. Then I opened it up. I'm going to talk about it on camera, let you know what it is. There's one fragrance I'm going to talk about that I'm personally buying that I see a deal for as I've been collecting the series. That will be in the bonus section with the fragrance that just came. And there will be a few non-Father's Day leaning offerings there as well that I wanted to highlight that are great deals. If you're in the market for something really budgeted, this is the video for you. So we've got these great fragrances and yes, Father's Day deals here. I want to let you guys know about ScentFest SF. So I set out on a goal to get 2,000 attendees and we've got that already. I'm excited for this and the 2,000 registrations, I should say, are between 3-day passes and single-day passes. And we are now going towards 3,000 attendees. So I'm very excited where the show is at. If you haven't gotten your tickets yet, please do. Also, I want to say, get yourself 3-day passes. And we also have some VIP passes available. VIP passes get you in 2 hours before the big crowds come, the general admission comes. So it's going to be a much more breathable show. You get to meet the brands and talk to them and also participate in some sessions presented by Amouroud. So there will be scent sessions happening in the VIP hours that you won't have access to if you have a general admission ticket. So get yourself a 3-day pass, get the VIP so you can come in earlier and participate. We've got probably 5 to 6 panels a day each day. So a total of somewhere around 15 to 18 different scent sessions. So you get to learn a lot about fragrances and discover new fragrances at the show. So like I said, if you haven't gotten your tickets yet, please do get yourself a 3-day pass. We do have general admission 3-day passes, and we also have the VIP 3-day passes as well. All right, let's get started with the list. We're going to go to the house of Xerjoff first. This is the Casamorati collection with Mefisto Gentiluomo. This one right here. This is kind of like a barbershop fougere style fragrance. But what I like about this one, the lavender in this is so naturalistic smelling. It's almost like I've taken the lavender and rubbed it in my hands and drizzled it with citruses, kind of juicy, citrusy. So it's very, very fresh. But also the lavender comes off very green as well. So you not only have the floral part of the lavender itself, but the stems kind of have that kind of slight green leaning quality. So I really like that about this fragrance. So I have a very fresh fougere-like, barbershop-like fragrance, a lot of aromatics like lavender, and you get a little bit of greenness as well. So I'm not really too familiar with the original Mefisto. I've always gone to this. I've actually also used their beard oil, which is scented similarly. And oh my God, when I wore the two together, the combination is really, really awesome. So if you like, barbershop style fragrances, I think you should definitely check this one out. 100 ml, $150. And it's a tester. So that's a great price. It's a great gift for a father, or if you're a dad, buy it for yourself. And again, this is a tester, so it's not full presentation. It's not going to come in a Xerjoff presentation like that. Well, that's the regular Xerjoff. This is a Casamorati, so it's going to look a little different. But it's going to be kind of in a packaging like this. It's not necessarily written on there what it is. And so you'll be, it's still the fragrance, but it's a tester, so it's just not going to be full presentation. So that is Mefisto Gentiluomo from Xerjoff in the Casamorati collection. It's 100 ml for $150 as a tester. And if you're in the market for these guys, I keep explaining this, and some people say, where are the links? I don't use links in my info box much anymore, except if it's like a product that I'm selling, like Juice Boxes 54 or something like that. All of the fragrances are YouTube shopping. So if you're looking at watching me, on the left bottom, there's a small button you can click that. It opens up a window on the right, and there's a list of the products that are selling. And these are kind of linked to the different retailers that I found the deals at. So let's move on to the next one. It's Rosendo Mateu number 1. So if you guys don't know number 1, because most likely the one that's known from this house is number 5. Number 1 is actually quite good. It's bergamot and tea. So it's super invigorating, very fresh, and also really cozy as well with that whole tea effect happening. And then in the base, it's kind of very creamy sandalwoody. So I think it's a very smooth offering. It's that bergamot, very sparkling, very effervescent, super fresh, and kind of sweet tart with a little bit of a floralcy. And then the tea comes in. The tea kind of acts a little bit like green grass, I was going to say, like grassy, but more like dried grass. And I feel like that's definitely contributed by the tea note that's in here. And of course, as I said, you've got that sandalwood in here. So it's super smooth, very cozy, and you know, it's not a challenging offering. So it makes it for a really awesome, you know, fragrance to wear in the summertime. So this is 100 ml, $90. It's a really, really great price. It'll make a great present as well. This is also not a tester. You got full presentation. So it will look a little bit more presentable, but there's nothing wrong with giving somebody a tester as a gift, is there? Of course, the full presentation is fine, but if you can find a great deal as a tester, especially also if you're just buying it for yourself and you're not giving it as a gift. But again, the Rosendo Mateu number 1, great bergamot tea sandalwood focused fragrance, super cozy. It has greenness in there. It's got lots of citrusy touches, a little bit floral, and of course that tea comes in super cozy. So that's number 1 by Rosendo Mateu. It's 100 ml for $90. That's a great, great price. Then we've got a Vetiver fragrance here, and I think Vetiver fragrances are super masculine leaning. At least to me they are. It's the kind of notes. And this is Amouroud's Lunar Vetiver, 100 ml for $100. It's super what was I going to say? It's super earthy and grassy, but there's something creamy about this one also. When I wear it, it adds kind of a very creamy, smooth layer. Not anything gourmandesque. Maybe there's a little bit of sandalwood in here. But this does remind me of other vetiver fragrances that I'm familiar with. So if you're familiar with wearing things like Guerlain vetiver and things like that, you're going to probably really enjoy this. The only other thing I should also mention, there's a lot of woods in here. Even though you get that creamy effect, there are a lot of woods in here, or woody notes. So you do have a slight pencil shavings effect happening in here as well. But super robust, really intense offering. Really love the way it smells. Lunar Vetiver in the white bottle collection, and definitely something you should check out. The price is really great as well. 100 ml for $100. It's a very potent offering. It's eau de parfum. It's not super extrait, but actually it says parfum. Huh, okay. I thought these were eau de parfum, but it says parfum. That's probably why it acts so potent. But that is Amouroud's Lunar Vetiver, 100 ml for $100, a great price. So I've got a couple of Acqua di Parma fragrances next. We've got Acqua di Parma's Fico di Amalfi, perfect summer scent. And you know, Father's Day is just the beginning of summer, seasonally. So this is a perfect summer offering for dad. Now this is in the 150 ml bottle. It's $85 as a tester. Now, I have a 150 ml bottle, as you can see here. But Acqua di Parma has redone their bottles. I don't think they make the 150 ml bottles anymore. I think they make a 200 ml, so it's priced higher. But this is a really, really great price on this fragrance. And Fico di Amalfi is one of my favorites in the Blue Mediterraneo collection offerings right there. It's super fruity, a little bit green, a little citrusy, very, very fresh. And it's kind of a fun, playful fragrance as well. It's not serious. You have a lot of fruits, juicy, very, very juicy, a bit pulpy, but also very, very citrusy. But behind the fruits, you do pick up a little bit of the fig leaves as well. There is a little bit of a greenness. Fig leaves to me are super bitter. So you have that kind of bitterness against the fruitiness. But the fruits are super juicy, as I said. I love it. It's so good. One of the best fruity fragrances out there. And we're relying on figs. And to me, I'm not the biggest fan of fruity fragrances to the max. I enjoy them. But I consider this one of the best fruity fragrances because I love the way fig smells. And contrasted with that bitter greenness of the leaves, it's a awesome fragrance. It's an eau de toilette, so it's not going to be super potent, but it's 150 ml for $85. So that's a really a great offering for that price. So you can liberally spray it, and all summer long you'd be smelling so great. You'd be smelling super juicy, fruity. So yeah, 150 ml for $85. It's a tester. So you'll get it in a box like this. Doesn't matter. It's your fragrance. Once you open it up, you get it like this. In fact, I believe this is a tester. I buy testers all the time. As long as I know I'm going to get a cap, I buy them. And I think this one does come with a cap. So again, 150 ml for $85. And again, as I was also saying, they no longer make the 150 mls. Like, it's no longer produced. They've changed them, but there are stock out there. So you're finding them for that great deal. And again, if you don't know how to purchase from YouTube Shopping, on the left, the bottom, there's a little window with a product. You click that, opens up another window on the right with a list of all the fragrances that I'm talking about, and you can shop through there. Click the chapters as well, whichever product sounds great to you. You can do that with the regular chapters and find the products that way as well. But once you click the chapter for the actual fragrance I'm talking about, you still have to click that other button with the circle, and that opens up the products later. So let's move on to another Acqua di Parma fragrance. This is Colonia C.L.U.B. Is this fragrance discontinued by any chance? So Colonia C.L.U.B. is not as good of a deal as the Fico de Amalfi. 150 ml, $85 for the tester of Fico de Amalfi. This is 100 ml for $65 as a tester. So yeah, it's $20 more, but for $20 more, you're getting 50 ml more juice. And this is, I believe this is an eau de toilette. No, this is an eau de cologne. So that's also, but still, I think if you want something unique like this, definitely check this out. This is with that shiso note. So it's got a kind of a herbal quality about it. It's basically the idea of the original Colonia from Acqua di Parma, but the smell has changed up so much. It's gone green, and it's got that signature shiso smell, and it's just basically a new interpretation of the Colonia from the house of Acqua di Parma. So Colonia C.L.U.B. 100 ml for $65. If you like aromatic style fragrances, and I think shiso is an herb. It's a type of herb, and I always mention it's kind of like a cross between a mint or basil or something, maybe a little bit of cilantro thrown in, because it's a very distinct smell. Then you got that here with Colonia C.L.U.B. And again, that's 100 ml for $65. So we're going to a more mass market brand next. It's Caron's Aimez Comme Je Suis. This is 125 ml for $55. This is another vetiver fragrance. This is actually a nutty vetiver fragrance. Do you like the idea of a nutty note with vetiver? You've got hazelnuts here. So is it gourmand? Not really. I wouldn't say it's gourmand, because to me, even though there's nut, oh my God, it smells good. It smells really, really great. And I'm picking up the hazelnuts. I don't know why my nose is itchy. There's a little fruit fly flying around, and it makes me subconsciously itchy. But this stuff, the nuttiness smells so good, and I'm picking up the actual shells of the hazelnuts, because I love hazelnuts. To me, they're really great. And I used to know somebody that had a hazelnut tree, and I remember how fragrant everything was. And of course, we'd pick the hazelnuts and with the what do you call it? The device the nutcracker. We used to use the nutcracker to crack open and open up and eat the hazelnuts. And so to me, this has that kind of a nuttiness, but it's so good. Really, really quality offering for the guys. So it's 125 ml for $55. It's vetiver. It's super earthy and also nutty. A little bit citrusy. It adds a little bit of freshness, but they did a great job on this. To me, it smells so good today. Super good. This I bought probably around 2021 or 2020. I ordered it directly from Caron. I bought this, and I also bought the refill. So this is the very end of that. The refill, I think, was a lot more juice in there compared to this, or maybe not, because this is 125 ml. But if you haven't tried this, it's super classy, very elegant, and of course it's grassy woody, earthy, nutty vetiver fragrance. It smells fantastic today for some reason. That's Aimez Comme Je Suis. And if you guys don't know Caron, Caron is an old house. It's a historic house known for fragrances like Tabac Blonde and also Pour un Homme de Caron. By the way, if you're coming to Scentfest or you haven't planned it yet, the Osmotek will be present, and they are bringing a original formulation of Tabac Blonde from the house of Caron, and Tabac Blonde's been super reformulated nowadays, but you'll be able to smell the original. Is that the only Caron they have? Among 25 different fragrances, one of them is the Caron, but there's also a lot of other fragrances that you get to smell. You get to smell Kifi or Kaifi. You'll smell a fragrance from the 1300s. The Kifi or Kaifi is from like Egyptian times. And then a lot from the 1700s, 1800s, and the early 1900s. So if you're ever curious about smelling fragrances that people wore in the past, this is a great experience for you to come and experience. And also, I should say, since this is a Father's Day promotion fragrance discounts deal, you can also smell the original formulation of Fougère Royale from the House of Houbigant. So come to Scentfest, get your tickets, and get a 3-day pass, because you're going to be able to, I mean, for one day, you won't be able to see everything, so you'll need at least 3 days to experience the whole entire show. All right, let's move on to the House of Montale. This is not my all-time favorite fragrance from Montale. I'm being upfront about it, but it's a super great deal. That's why I'm mentioning it to you. So it's Oud Tobacco, and it is super oudi, also very spicy and citrusy, and it's an acquired taste. So to me, it smells a little animalic for sure, and lots of that spice called sumac, and there's a little bit of a greasy quality, if that makes sense, mixed in with the brightness of the citruses and the spiciness of the sumac. So if anybody is familiar, if any of you are familiar with sumac, you kind of get an idea. I don't think they've captured this true smell of sumac. To me, sumac is a great spice in the Middle East. It's most people know about the poison sumac. Is that correct? Not poison oak, but poison sumac, something similar. This is actually like a citrusy herb, or spice, I should say. And so it's used in Middle Eastern cuisine to give it a spicy lemoniness. So that's why this comes off a bit citrusy. But I think, I mean, they've captured the smell, or tried to, but it's mostly about the kind of industrial smelling oud with a kind of a citrusy touch and some freshness and spiciness in there. If you like a little bit of an animalic leaning oud, try this, because it is fairly inexpensive. It's about a $200 bottle for $60. So that's Oud Tobacco. And I gotta not forget to mention there's tobacco in here also, because it is called tobacco. And I think this is all kind of giving us this very masculine leaning offering. So it's got that kind of industrial smelling, greasiness. It's oud, but I think it's, I mean, yeah, I think it could be naturalistic oud, but most likely this is an oud accord. The tobacco and the sumac and the citrusy qualities, it's very unique. So check that out. It's Oud Tobacco from Montale, super inexpensive for $60. Now let's move on to the House of Dunhill. This is Icon Absolute. I don't know if you guys are familiar with this. My bottle has gotten quite dirty, as you can see. So I mentioned Icon last week, the original, which was very, very popular in the fragrance community. And I felt like it's a great fragrance. But this brand has, I think, lost a distributor or their partner. So they were dropped by Interparfums. So I don't know what's going on with Dunhill. Has anybody heard anything? Are their fragrances moved to somewhere else? Like, would they end up with Coty? But what this one is, the Absolute Icon, is basically the original Icon into kind of an oudi direction. So if you were familiar with Icon, to me, it was vetiver, it was peppery, spicy, kind of green, citrusy. So it's a great earthy take on a very classy masculine offering. But what they've done is taken that and added like an oud accord in it to give it a little bit of an idea of something like Oud Wood from Tom Ford, but still keeping a little bit of that vetiver, the greenness, the citrusy qualities, the peppery qualities in there. That's what it is. So this is 100 ml for $45. It's a great price for this, not because you couldn't find it before. You could always find it for those prices, but the brand's kind of disappearing. So we don't know if this fragrance is going to be around. So if you are a fan, get yourself a bottle. I really always have loved this bottle as well. So now's your chance, 100 ml for $45. It doesn't say it's a tester, so double check to make sure. But I think that's a great price, especially for a disappearing collection of fragrances. The Icon series from Dunhill, which I think was a great collection, always love them. The first two, this one and the original, it became a little more boring after that, a bit more mass. But I dig this, and most importantly, the original. So let's move on to the House of Frédéric Malle next. This is Geranium pour Monsieur. Yeah, this is also one that I think there's a lot of men that love this. That's why I'm recommending it, because it's just under $200. So this is a very aromatic, spicy offering, and it utilizes a minty quality mint and also geranium. So for me, I love my mint fragrances, but this does go slightly into a mouthwashy, toothpastey direction. So I mean, the more I smell it, the more I get used to it, but it reminds me of it. Also like a mint candy, it reminds me of. But if there's a lot of people that like it, you pick up the geranium, it's kind of naturalistic. And because geranium also has a minty quality, they've amped up the mintiness in here. And I think this combination is giving me a little bit of that kind of toothpaste, mouthwash, mint candy effect. So if you like that, you should definitely check out this, because it's super classy, I think. Very elegant. It's also created by Dominique Ropion. And I think it's one of the more popular from the House of Frédéric Malle. And it's $199 for 100 ml. So it's a great price. It's more niche for you rather than the Dunhill Icon, which is more of a designer. But I think it's definitely something I wanted to recommend, because it is a great price and a lot of guys seem to like it. So if you're a mint lover, definitely check that one out. It's 100 ml for $199. Let's move on to the House of Nishane. Next, it's Hacivat, 50 ml for $95. It's a tester. So a great price on this one. I find this one to be super cooling, a bit screechy, metallic, but you've got a cheaper style fragrance with fruitiness. You've got citruses here. You've got pineapple. You've got mossy notes. You've got grapefruit. You've got patchouli. It smells fantastic, and it's super long lasting, perfect fragrance to wear and smell amazing. So also, I think if you like fragrances that cool you off, this is the kind of fragrance you should pull for. Definitely has a cooling effect. There's a screechy metallic quality about it as well. And yeah, I think it's long lasting and something to wear when it's extremely hot. If you like to wear these kind of cooling fragrances in the heat, definitely try this one for sure. And it has great projection, so great longevity. So you'll be smelling amazing all summer long with a bottle of Nishane Hacivat. But just keep in mind, I'm talking about the 50 ml. It's $95, and it's a tester. So it's not a 100 ml bottle like this. But that is Nishane's Hacivat. I still like that scent. I like it more than Aventus. I also enjoy, because that does have that screechiness, but also with Mancera Cedar Poisé, especially the intense version, I like that pulpiness, which to me, it's so different compared to Hacivat. But anyway, Nishane's Hacivat in the 50 ml, it's $95. Let's move on to Tom Ford next. It's Noir Extreme, the original, and it's 100 ml for, what is the price? $125 in a tester format. I'm not talking about the Parfum today, because that was not the deal. And this is a tester as well, but I think it's a great price for this, because this is around $200? Somewhere around there, right? Maybe a little bit more. What's unique about this one, it's ginger, cardamom, vanillic notes, and there's ambery notes, and there's a creamy consistency about it. It does smell a little bit like a dessert, and it's definitely one of the best from Tom Ford. It's interesting how also, did I say the price? It's 100 ml for $125, but it's interesting how Tom Ford's Noir in this bottle, the original, came out, totally different scent. I don't think that fragrance ever caught on. Then they launched an eau de toilette of that, which was a flanker of the original, which is very similar. When they launched Noir Extreme, I think it really caught on. I think Noir Extreme became more popular than Noir, and Noir got I think very limited, distribution on that. I think you can still find it, but it's probably slowly disappearing. And then I think they also launched the Noir Anthracite, which was a complete disaster. Nobody cared for it. I really loved it. I loved that one. I think this whole series is great personally. And then finally they have the Parfum, which I think is also popular, but probably the original EDP is the one that sells the most. I mean, it was so popular that they also launched a woman's version called Noir Femme, if you guys remember that. But it's a great scent. It's a really lovely scent. Noir Extreme from Tom Ford. It's $125 for a tester. Again, testers are okay to give. Well, at least to me they are. Maybe you don't like the idea of giving testers as a gift. Maybe you want to do this one instead. So this is Byredo's Super Cedar. Byredo's Super Cedar, I have to say, Byredo's fragrances do go down pretty fast because they do wear thin, but some of their scents are really awesome. Like this Super Cedar, I really love the way it smells. To me, it smells very fresh, like Byredo DNA, created by Jérôme Epinay, but there's a pencil shaving effect happening in there as well with the cedar note. Very classy, very elegant. I wouldn't say it's the most masculine, but I find the notes in here to be on the masculine side, so it is masculine leaning. But it's great. It's a really wonderful offering. I kind of want to pick up some of their extracts and some of their absolutes, but they rarely go really super low. So this is a great deal for $193. Snatch it up before it goes up. Super Cedar from the house of Byredo is a great price. But again, if you like more fresh takes on woods, a little pencil shaving or something, I'm also picking up their signature Violet DNA. But yeah, it's a great scent, Super Cedar. Very classy. And I think gentlemanly as well. So that's $193 for Super Cedar. And then I'm going to offer these two up as well. These are like highly discounted testers from the house of Zilli. My favorite from the line is not here, sadly, but these two are very inexpensive. They're both $55 as testers. So this is Queer Imperial from Zilli. Let me show you. This one I bought in full presentation, but this one was purchased in a tester format. And you can see up top it's getting a little, well, this one has a little smudge as well. So Queer Imperial is 100 ml for $55 as a tester. Queer Imperial does remind me of Layton a little bit. If you're a fan of Layton, definitely check this out. It's super spicy, it's woody, a bit creamy and vanillic, and lightly leathery as well. And you've got a little bit of that cardamom-like effect that you're familiar with in something like Layton. I think this is what's her name that created this? I'm drawing a blank with her name. But a great perfumer. She does really great work, and she did a great job here. It smells great. I mean, it does remind me of Layton, but if you can't afford Layton, this is definitely a great price for $55. Queer Imperial. And it comes in although it's a tester, as I said, so the ones I'm recommending here are testers. The testers are $55. But really a wonderful offering here. Queer Imperial from the house of Zilli, which I don't know what's going on with the brand. Although I don't know much about this brand, but yeah, this is like a great discount. And then the next one is Éclat de Cuivre. I think that's how you say it. It's a very French name. And this is also the same price. 100 ml for $55. Kind of similar to me, but a little different. They do both remind me of Layton, but going in different directions. This one doesn't have that very pungent, almost soapy smell of cardamom as strong as the previous one. This seems a little bit more ambery as well. Woods and amber. But it reminds me of it. It also seems a little creamier than the previous one. Which is your favorite? Have you tried these fragrances? I think both of them are pretty solid. I like this one a little bit more. I think this is Queer Imperial. It's a bit more like Layton, and I feel like this is the Éclat de Cuivre is a bit not so familiar. I mean, a little different than Leighton is what I should say. But both of them are $55. Great price. If you haven't gotten them, get them. I think they make great gift for Father's Day as well. And those are all the fragrances. I'm going to do a few more after the outro in the bonus section. But let me know your thoughts on these. Do you have a great gift for your father yet or your dad? Let me know. Add a comment below. And don't forget Scentfest, guys. It's around the corner. It's coming right down the corner here at the end of the month, June 26, 27, and 28. I would love for you to come and attend and experience what an awesome show we've put together. And we hope to do one every year going forward. So I really, really hope that you guys can get your passes. Remember, get the 3-day passes because there's a lot of great programming and you get to see a lot. And I don't think if you have just 1-day pass, you're not going to get the full effect of the show unless you get a 3-day pass. So please get your 3-day passes. There's a VIP pass, 3-day passes, and the general admission 3-day passes. So I hope to see you guys there. I've got it linked in the info box, and thanks so much for watching today's video. If you have any questions or comments, list below. Please like the video. Please share it. Please interact with the video so it helps with the algorithm. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Click that bell icon, and I'll definitely be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one. Bye. All right, so we've got the bonus section here, and here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to talk about the first one. This I just recently purchased in a video like this. I mentioned I was going to buy it. I finally did, and it's finally delivered. It's Mancera's Fig Me Up. So I bought the tester, and as you can see, it has tester written there. It says Fig Me Up. Fig Me Up is currently 120 ml for $88. So when you buy a tester, this is what you get. You get basically the same fragrance, but it comes in an ugly box like this that you get to throw away or recycle. But the bottle is right there. So what do you guys think about Fig Me Up? Don't they have... Mancera has another fig, which I really, really love. But this is actually a fruity take on fig, like super fruity. And the other one, I think it's a more citrusy take on fig, green. This also has a lot of violet. Well, it's purple, so you've got fig that's kind of purplish. You also have plum listed as a note. That's purplish. And violet to me is also purplish. But you also have a little bit of the leaves in this as well. I think it's a fruity take on it. I'm not 100% sold on it yet. I have to test it out and see. But I like what I'm smelling. I kind of prefer the other one more. Their other fig, and I'm forgetting the name of that. What was it called? Okay, I paused the video to go grab the bottle. It's actually called Fig Ecstasy. I wanted to do a quick side-by-side comparison between the two and tell you which one I prefer more. But before I do that, the other thing I want to say, look at this. In full presentation, you do get the sleeve. In a tester, you don't get the sleeve for it. So that's also missing. Which, do I really care about these sleeves? I don't really care. So that's Fig Ecstasy. And this is Fig Me Up. Which one do you think I'm going to like more? I mentioned earlier, I am not the biggest fan of fruity as much, but I love the fruitiness of Fico de Amalfi. But I'm not sold on Fig Me Up yet. Let's see. I wonder if you can layer the two. But for me, Fig Ecstasy is much better than Fig Me Up. At least now, it's much better. I like that it's green, lots of woods, bitterness, some citruses, and a creamy backbone. This is more along the line of other green fig fragrances. It smells awesome, by the way. So in regards to Fig Me Up, It's purplish, violet, fruits, a little bit of greenness in there as well. Yeah, for me, it's all about Fig Ecstasy. That's my favorite. But who knows? Maybe Fig Me Up will grow on me. All right, so once I've talked about that, there is a fragrance by the House of Nikos Sculpture series, and their latest release called Vague Door is now at a discounter, and it's 100 ml for $70. So I don't know anything about it. I think it's a powdery offering. I'm going to do a blind buy and buy that one because I've been wanting it. If anybody has it, let me know. If you're curious to check it out, it's 100 ml 70. I've got it linked up here, but I don't have it to talk to you guys about it. When I do another video like this and it's delivered, I'll let you guys know. So next, I'm going to talk to you about another Xerjoff. Oh, actually, first I'm going to talk to you about Gucci's The Forgotten Rose. So if you guys don't know these fragrances, this is actually an oil. This is called The Forgotten Rose, and it's 20 ml for $50. Look at that little thing. Cute. So this is an oil. You put this down on skin. You can wear it on its own. You can kind of rub it. It'll be your base. And then you would spritz other fragrances on it, and you know, do your own like layering cocktail thing, mixologist thing, I should say, with a rose type of a essence that's for, I think, wearing it as a personal fragrance or as a base, as I said. So that's what this is. A Forgotten Rose is an oil, 20 ml for $50. And I don't know how long that's going to be around. So that collection, I think, is kind of iffy or questionable, I should say. But this next one's Xerjoff's 400. And this is a tobacco fragrance, honeyed, but it's more tobacco floral. And this is 50 ml for $100 as a tester. So that's also a great price. But look at the juice has turned really dark, as you can see right there. Oh, so good. This is so good. If you like tobacco blossom in fragrances, at least that's what I think this is. It's ambery, it's powdery, it's sweet honeyed, very floral. I would call this an amber floral. It smells really... There's also something a little bit spicy in there. Yum. Very honeyed. The honey is really, really strong. That's great. That's really awesome. 400 from Xerjoff. It's $100 for a 50 ml. And that is from the Join the Club series of fragrances. Then we've got Tom Ford's Black Orchid Parfum. This is a parfum concentration of the original Tom Ford Black Orchid. And it's $140 for a tester. And it's not the reserve version. This is a kind of a boozy, plummy version of a Black Orchid. You're reminded of the original, but the tester price is really great for the parfum. It's also very long lasting. I think it's a really great creation. It's not one of my all-time favorites from the house, but I give it credit for launching something like this. I think this is the original, is the fragrance that kicked off the brand's fragrances. So it's a very iconic scent, I think, for the brand. That's why they keep launching, flankers for it. And recently they launched was it called Special Reserve or something like that? And they put the fragrance in a private blend bottle as well. But I think if you can't afford the original, the Special Reserve or the Reserve Edition, I think the parfum should satisfy because it smells really awesome. And one last fragrance, we've got Memo Paris's Corfu. It's $135 for a 75 ml. I think it's a great scent for summer. It's fruity and juicy. Who's been to Corfu? It's relying on rhubarb here. It's a rhubarb-focused fragrance. And you can really experience that pulpiness of the rhubarb. It smells great. I think it's a perfect summer scent, actually. And if you love the idea of this kind of vegetal fruitiness of the rhubarb, you definitely need to check out Corfu. I think it works perfect in the heat, and I like that kind of plump juiciness that is really prominent here with this one. So that's Memo Paris Corfu, 75 ml for $135. There's a little bit of a rosiness in that as well. I do want to let you guys know, but it's juicy, citrusy, pulpy, fruity, and rosy. Anyway, that's the last fragrance for you guys. See you guys later. Bye-bye.